May I come in, sir?
Yes, please do.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
You're Mr. Satyam.
Yes.
Satyam Gandhi.
Yes.
Satyam, I just want to draw your attention to the fact that you are sitting at around 12-13 feet from anybody in this room, right?
Yes.
You're at a safe distance.
Yes.
We have kept this arrangement to ensure that you feel safe and you can safely remove your mask considering that you are at safe distance, right? Please do.
Thank you, sir.
So, Satyam, comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Satyam, I would like to inform my fellow board members that Satyam is basically from Samastipur, Bihar.
Yes, sir.
I can also see that Satyam has done his graduation from University of Delhi in 2020,
Yes.
right? It was BA Honours in Political Science. Is there any other information you would like to share with the board?
Sir, I completed all my schoolings from Kendriya Vidyalaya Arupusa in Bihar itself, and then I moved for the graduation in DU. And from the last year, I am preparing for civil services. I have done few internships during my college days and also worked as a freelancer.
So Satyam, I can see that you are barely eligible right now, right? You are around 21 years old. You completed your 21 years last month
Yes.
only. Considering that, I mean, I understand that you are eligible and that's why you're here.
Yes.
But if we leave the eligibility part apart, things apart, don't you think that you're too young? You're too immature right now. I mean, it's not, I'm not saying it as a matter of disrespect. Everybody at your age is likely to be you only. But don't you think that civil services is too big a thing, too mature a thing, expectations are there? So you should actually complete your post-graduation, do a few things here and there, get that level of maturity and understanding and only then come to the civil services.
Sir, I think today's civil services need energetic and enthusiastic person, which I believe I am. And from starting, I had in mind that I have to do civil services only, and I have certain ambitions and goals in my life which I would like to implement in future. That is why I have started early, and I wish to join the civil services very early.
That is even more worrisome for me, which effectively means that you're a person who were too focused, polarized in your upbringing, that you even at the age of 21 you're saying that you're doing it for very long period of time. You've been too focused into this, which effectively means that you're a very polarized person, and that's why probably more maturity is required. What's your take?
Sir, I think from the past 2 years I have done my UPSC preparation, and earlier I had done extracurricular activities in my college, and also I have done certain photography, filmmaking and various other things which are not in the syllabus or which are not part of UPSC syllabus per se. And furthermore, I think that since I just completed 21 years of age, so I am more enthusiastic person than others, and I think I can better contribute in the development of my nation.
Let us not dispute that you're young and energetic, though it is not necessarily a domain of the age. But still, do you believe there are a couple of things, there can be a couple of things which you lack because of your young age, not really some kind of a criticism, but can you figure out 3 things in your personality which you believe that you will get only with time?
Sir, I do not see any problem right
No,
now.
let us not talk about problem. Let us believe that I'm looking at your ability to analyze your personality. Whether can you see that there are 3 problems in your personality, because there are 3 things you will be achieving only with the maturity, with the age.
Sorry, sir, I do not see anything.
So
And
one is that you don't have the ability to analyze yourself. Can you mention 2 more? One, you just explained that you cannot analyze your personality. This is one problem. What are 2 other problems?
sorry, sir, I would beg to differ with you. I can better analyze my
So then
personality.
analyze and tell me 3 things.
Sir, I have analyzed, but right
One
now
I told you. Give me 2 more.
Sir, I think that I have analyzed my personality and I do not find any such discrepancies into me. And
Okay.
even if there is, I think by the time I complete my training, I will be mature enough to deal with all the circumstances.
Okay. Let's accept what you're saying. You have mentioned that you cleared your ND examination.
Yes.
But you did not join.
Sir, I am colorblind. So that is why I was not found medically fit to join the academy.
But you mentioned police services in your options. If you're colorblind, why have you filled many police services here?
Sir, there are 5 levels of color blindness, and I am currently at CP4, and I am not aware of the level of color blindness that IPS requires. So I will see what happens in the medical, and it will decide my fate.
You got yourself medically examined in the UPSC earlier, and still you're not aware that what is the status of your, again, immaturity thing?
Sir, I think I am aware of my status as per the requirements of armed forces, that is Air Force, Army and Navy. But I am not aware of the status as per
But it's there,
the
in
IPS.
it's there in the notification that is given to you. You didn't read the notification?
Sir, I have read the notification, but the level of color blindness is not mentioned there. It is only written color blindness. So.
Okay. Tell me, you have also mentioned that you like street photography.
Yes, sir.
If you're in a street and you have an object in mind, it is very difficult to take consent from the object before the photography. How do you manage that?
Sir, I think a street is a public space and it belongs as much to them as much to me. So,
Street in its physical form is a public space, but the individuals you are photographing, are they also public objects?
sir, they are not, but whenever I click the photo, after that I ask for the consent that if I can use this photo for my purpose or not. And if the object, I delete the photo.
Fine, thank you. Sir.
So, gentlemen, you have taken political science as your optional.
Yes, sir.
There's a topic we consider what a regional international organization. We are living in an age of globalization, right? And our global political platform, social economic platform, very popularly called UN or WTO and some other organization too. Do you consider the regional organization? Either it is what continental organization like European Union, African Union, or regional organization like ASEAN, SAARC. They're responsible behind first failure of all such global organizations because their actually purpose to work is quite different. What's your opinion?
Sir, from the past 30 years, neoliberal globalization has taken shape, and that has given emergence to many multilateral and regional organizations, as you mentioned. But I think that these organizations, particularly the continental and regional ones such as EU or SCO, has some specific objectives which are related to the regional development. And if we talk about the global issues...
Sorry to interrupt you. Whatever the perspective of European Union, that is not applicable on third world. Third world, that is African Union, they have a different perspective. And there is sense of what? Regional bias. There's sense of regionalism. And finally, that is going to translate into what? Racism, so-called paternity theory, superior, inferior. So this is the what perception prevail across the world, particularly we call it what north-south divide. Yes, please.
Sir, I think that European Union was formed with a view to develop European continental. And since European continental and African continental have different priorities and different objectives, so these two organizations were created. And if we talk about the current situation, then all these organizations are cooperating on different level.
They are not cooperating. Look, Afghanistan. All regional organizations or individual nation having a different perspective. Nobody take care of women of what to look actually Afghanistan. The president of USA has quoted himself and pray for women of what? Afghanistan. You are aware?
Yes, sir, I am aware.
So what your stand now, please?
Sir, in the current times, I think it is pretty unfortunate that organizations are not focusing upon the situations in Afghanistan. But if we see the other larger issues, be it climate change or combating terrorism or funding human rights organization.
When combating terrorism, look, day before yesterday, our foreign minister has again actually make a call to a country like USA. There is no bad and what? Good terrorism. This is the right time and rise awake and move till not aim is achieved. So how you consider there is a one actually approach in curbing terrorism. Look, last government of USA has not accepted climate justice, quite different approach. So there is no what actually unilateral or integrated approach to climate change. They are what creating a regional divide. So what I want to know from you is what should be the best way for globalization?
So the best way to globalization would be to keep humanity in mind, because humanity is the only factor which unites all the countries. And if we focus on humanity, then all the organization will automatically come together to combat the challenges which threaten the existence of humanity, that is climate change, terrorism, or human rights issues. I think that United Nations have to be more proactive to ensure that all the regional organizations have their voices heard there, and moreover, they have certain minimum agenda on which they agree to work, so that it will act as a low-hanging fruit, and then we can expect more to.
Okay, you come from coming from Samastipur.
Yes, sir.
This is the first republic of world, right? At
Yes,
least
sir.
for India. And this is the land of Buddhism and Jainism.
Yes, sir.
My question is what in our constitution article 51, right? There are several provisions of international relation directly taken from what Buddhism and Jainism. Can you trace what actually things of 51 article has been taken or have been taken from Buddhism and Jainism as what basic constituent of our international relation?
Sir, Article 51 deals with fundamental duties, and
51A.
51A
A,
deals
this is 51. 51 is what international relation. 51A is what fundamental duties. That is a separate part also. 51A is a part.
So am I allowed to take a guess?
Yes, please.
Sir, Article 51 deals with that India will act in a way that promotes international peace and prosperity. So this is what the crux of Article 51 is, and it directly belongs to Buddhism and Jainism, because both religion felt that the humanity is one and there is no divide in present in them.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Satyam,
Yes, sir.
you belong to Bihar
Yes.
and a very alluvial soil land, that is Samastipur.
Yes.
And in Samastipur earlier, it has a very big agricultural market, but now it has shrinking. Why the agriculture market of Samastipur is shrinking?
Sir, there are several reasons why it is happening. The first, with time, the land holdings are getting divided among the family members. So the productivity and total production is also declining. So there is not enough production that can help the agriculture market is functioning. So secondly, Bihar abolished APMC Market Act in 2006. So that is why the Bazaar Samiti that was present in Samastipur, now it has no relevance. And thirdly, now people are exporting or sending their produce to other parts of the India due to better connectivity and the Kisan Rail, which even goes through Samastipur. So that is why I think that these things are happening.
Samastipur is one of the largest supplier of vegetables to the NCR region. So is it the shifting of market?
Yes, sir. Shifting of market is the reason, because as connectivity has increased, so farmers are getting now good avenues to market their produce. As you rightly mentioned, that is Delhi. So the relevance of Samastipur as an agriculture market is declining.
My next question. India's coastline is a very long coastline. How the geographical shape of coastline is helping the importance of India, particularly in the maritime region?
Sir, India is situated just above Indian Ocean, and it
is just above, or it is just north?
Sorry, sir, just north the Indian Ocean, and it is a commanding position if we talk about geographically. So it has it has helped India to shape its major foreign policy priorities. If I take the example, India has initiated Sagar mission, that is security and growth for all in the region. It has assumed the net security provider role in the Indian Ocean region. It has many NSA level talk with Maldives, Sri Lanka and Mauritius. And furthermore, India has also initiated humanitarian assistance and disaster relief measures around the Indian Ocean littoral region. And recently, India has established information fusion system in Gurgaon, so that the commercial ships can be managed effectively. And the last would be, it is very helpful to counter the influence of China, particularly in the Indian Ocean region.
My next question, last question from you. Gandhi always advised the stateless society. Why?
Sir,
It is like a Taliban.
Sir, I would beg to differ with you, because when Taliban talks about a stateless society, they have some different priorities in mind. But when Gandhi talked about a stateless society, he took the humanitarian view of people. He viewed people as pacifists who can cooperate even in the absence of a state. And he viewed a state as a symbol of violence, which can prohibit human development. So, Gandhi promoted a stateless society, or so-called Ram Rajya, in which people can ensure their own personality development and cooperate to achieve some human goals.
Is it the practical thing, a stateless society, the concept of a stateless society?
Sir, in my personal opinion, in today's world, a stateless society is not possible, because a state is necessary to ensure that certain fundamental rights of every person is protected. But we are progressing towards a minimalist state, which goes more closer to the stateless society.
Thank you, Satyam. Thank you.
Satyam,
Yes, sir.
your name comprises Gandhi title.
Yes.
Do you find any similarity with Gandhiji or dissimilarity?
Sir, Gandhi title has a lot of impact in my life and has induced certain similarities into my personality. The first one is that Gandhi's talisman, that whenever I take any step, I remember the face of the poorest individual who will get the benefit. Secondly, Gandhi always talked about civic sense, sanitation, and following truthfulness. So this is the core principle on which my personality and my life is based. So thirdly, Gandhi always talked about non-violence and compassion toward other people, and it will help me in administration also. When I
Any dissimilarity?
Sir, in the moral sense, I do not have any dissimilarity, but some of the Gandhian ideas which I do not agree with. There are some ideas which,
Like?
sir, I think the Gandhian economic model, he criticized mechanization, industrialization. I agree to him a little. I disagree with him a little bit, because in current times, I think that industrialization and mechanization are as much required as labor-intensive industries. So this is one point which I disagree with.
Okay. You have been associated with Dr. Ambedkar International Center.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Ambedkar and Gandhi were some ideological differences. Could you trace out those ideological differences on which basis they have?
So Dr. Ambedkar and Gandhi had several differences. The first one would be on the issue of caste. Sir,
Okay, one is caste.
so second is regarding a stateless society. Dr. Ambedkar always favored a constitutional state, rule of law, but Gandhi favored a stateless society. The third would be on the reservation issue. Dr. Ambedkar always supported separate electorate and reservation, but Gandhi was against it because it would divide country internally. And
According to what would be the right means separate electorate or reservation according to the Gandhiji?
Sir, Gandhiji compromised for reservation.
Means what is your opinion? Suppose you have to choose one. Separate electorate or reservation?
Sir, I would prefer reservation.
Reservation.
Yes.
Okay. Watching science fiction films is your hobby. Why in India we don't see a good number of science fiction movies?
So there are a few reasons why we do not make such movies. The first would be the cost, because
Okay, one is cost.
so second would be the audience, because generally urban middle class educated people like science fiction films. But if we talk about Indian scenario, then most of the people like action, thriller, or fantasy movie.
Means
So
you
producers-
you believe that Indians don't have that kind of scientific temper like in European countries and in United States.
Sir, I do not mean so, but we are still a developing nation, and scientific temper is also developing among us. So there are sizable number of people particularly in urban areas who have very scientifically active and love to watch the science fiction films. But 70% of our population live in rural areas, and which are not developed if we talk about science fiction point of view. So there
You
is
mean
not
to
much
say
population to cater.
in rural areas people don't have a scientific approach?
Sir, they do have scientific approach, but the concepts that are associated with science fiction films like black hole, wormhole, time travel, time dilation, slingshot maneuver, these concepts, people are not aware of these concepts. But it will, I am hopeful that after 20 or 30 years, we will produce a Hollywood-like quality films.
Hollywood like quality.
Or even better
Okay,
than
you
that.
are from Bihar.
Yes.
If we talk about the recent Niti Aayog SDG index, Bihar is the worst performing state. Why is it so? Just point out your reasons only.
So there are few reasons. The first would be historical. Permanent settlement system was most enforced in Bihar and that deprived Bihar of all the investment that was needed for development. Secondly, in the post-independence era, there was much political instability in Bihar. For example, between 1960 to 2000, there were 27 chief ministers in Bihar. So that the development could not become the priority for political class.
Okay, last question from my side, Satyam. What India can learn from Bihar?
Sir, India can learn many things from Bihar. The first would be the idea of democracy and republicanism that was first present in Bihar and how we should move towards a more participative society. So second would be the humbleness, because many people say that Bihari people are more humble and more hardworking to achieve their goals. So this would be another thing. And third would be the urge for the development. Bihar is a poor state, but still is doing much better than many other states, particularly in the past 20 years. So these things can be learned by the.
Thank you, Satyam. Thank you, sir.
Satyam, you are a student of PSIR.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the difference between communism and socialism?
So the major difference is that communism is a stateless society, but in the socialism there is a state which enforces the rule of law and other social redistributive mechanism. So second is according to Marx, socialism is the midway to communism, and it comprises of dictatorship of proletariat. So
Okay,
this
fine.
is the major.
Can you tell me the difference between a flow test and a composite flow test when both are used?
Sir, floor test is just used to check whether the party has the effective majority or not. But composite floor test comes into play when some alternate parties are ready to form government and the legislatures have to vote for that party too. That if the ruling party loses majority, there is an party which is ready to form the government.
Right. And we often hear that Prime Minister is the first among the equals. Okay. And this phrase, first among equals, does it signify equality of status or inequality of status?
Sir, can I take a guess?
Sure.
Sir, when Constitution says that Prime Minister is first among the equals, it means that Prime Minister is also a member of Cabinet. And that is why the other ministers and Prime Ministers are of the same hierarchy. But Prime Minister, since
Same hierarchy.
at the same level, I mean, Prime Minister commands the whole Cabinet, but in the constitutional point of view, they are termed as equals.
So, should we take it as equality or inequality?
Sir, if we see practically, then Prime Minister is definitely not equal among us because he commands a major position in Cabinet. But
Fine, leave it. Can you tell me the difference between a state and a nation?
so there are few differences. The first, that a state is a political entity having limited or definitive territorial area and a population to command authority over. But nation is a cultural identity where people have shared history, shared culture, and have devotion towards
Can we have a situation of a state without a nation?
state without a nation. Yes, sir, it can have, because in today's world there are many multicultural societies, which if we go
But they are
literally,
having multiple nations. I think I would put it like multiple nations in a state, but not a state without a nation.
sir, I think
Are
that,
these two things same?
sir, it depends upon the people whom they associate with. If they have the priority of their own local group in mind, then they have certain different association. But in India, if we talk, like, it is a multicultural society and people have devotion to the Indian nation and not particularly
Okay,
to the
Satyam, tell me what is China plus one model and why it has been in news? China plus one.
Sir, can you give any in which sense, sir?
Like after COVID-19, many countries wanted like their like they should not be dependent on only one country. So in that context, it is China plus one.
Sir, if I'm not wrong, then it is regarding diversifying the supply chain, because in the globalization, countries have realized that relying upon one particular country is immensely dangerous, particularly if we importing critical technologies from that country. So we have taken, all the countries have taken certain steps to diversify their supply chain.
Fine. Recently, there was a case in which a documentary was made, and in that documentary, the voice of a person who is no longer alive, it was recreated using artificial intelligence and other technologies. Now, what do you think are the ethical issues in doing such a thing? Is it right or is it wrong? Are you aware about this documentary?
No, sir, I'm not aware of this documentary. But if we talk about ethically, if we are using that documentary for public purpose and for a good purpose, then it might give some benefits for us, provided that that documentary is not used for unethical purposes. So this is my point of view, sir.
Fine. My final question to you, how many Indians have gone to space, or people of Indian origin who have gone to space, and what is Kármán line?
So what is
Kármán line. Kármán.
Kármán line?
Yes.
Sorry, sir, I will have to look into what is Kármán line. But
how many Indians or people of Indian origin who have been to space?
so Sunita Williams, Rakesh Sharma, and recently on the Virgin Galactic flight, one female Indian went into space. So if, as far as I am aware, there are 3 people.
There is one more. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Satyam. Satyam, you're a political science student, and I'm sure you must have already studied gender. Tell me, when Simone said that women is not born, she is made, what is she trying to imply?
Sir, she is trying to imply the difference between sex and gender, because when women, she says that women are not born, she is made. We have certain social and cultural stereotypes that we associate with women, particularly if we talk about that women should be the glory of household. So this is what she tried to imply, that we associate certain stereotypes with women which are not present at the time of the birth. So she said women are
If we look at Indian society from the gender lens, we see whenever it comes to the real positions of power, for example, we have just one chief minister who's women. We do not have CJI women so far, and many other similar glass ceiling things you'll observe. Do you believe that we should wait till the society changes and become a gender-friendly society, or we should bring the changes and then let its impact be felt by the society, and society will change accordingly? What should be the best way of doing it?
Sir, I think that society has progressed in the past 70 years, and in the recent Lok Sabha, there was the most number of female parliamentarians ever. So, but I think that government steps, civil society steps, and people will have to come forward to ensure that the society becomes more gender sensitive and give the rightful rights that are present for the women.
Your name is Satyam. This beautiful line, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, is taken from which scripture?
Sorry, sir, I can only guess, I'm not sure, sir.
How about Satyamev Jayate?
Sir, Satyamev Jayate is from a Upanishad, if I'm not
Which
wrong.
Upanishad is it?
Sorry, sir, I'm unable to recall, sir. I will have to.
No problem. It just came as a passing comment, not really most important. I can also see that you mentioned the video editing thing. Can you name a few open source video editing softwares?
Sir, I do not use open source, but I am familiar with some proprietary.
You don't use open source? This is strange for just a graduate student. Where do you get so much money from using proprietary softwares?
Sir,
proprietary software starts from 1 lakh onwards. I mean, for a young student like you, it will be a big sum, isn't it?
Yes, sir, I agree with, yes, sir. But college generally provides those proprietary softwares for the students use, and the society in which I was the vice president, they also had a proprietary source, Adobe Premiere Pro, given by the college. So I used that software.
So apart from Adobe Premiere, what are other softwares generally used for video editing or still editing?
So there are like Adobe After Effects, and there is one more, Final Cut Pro. So these are the other softwares which are often used.
What is the concept of layers when it comes to the Premiere?
So layers can be defined as, if I take an example of a normal photo, then there are foreground, background, and in between there are various layers. So we can cut a particular part of a photo and then superimpose it on other using the layer mechanism. So this is what.
What are the shortcut commands for layer copy paste?
Sorry sir, I'm not aware of shortcut. I use the visible symbols. So
Fine. Satyam, it was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
thank you sir. Thank you, sirs. May I come in, sir?
Aye. Come Satyam, take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
So, right, Satyam, your interview is on 1st of September.
Yes,
It is obviously going to be your first interview.
yes.
What is your take? You're happy with your performance, or there are areas you're able to see that, okay, these are the areas I'll still have 10 days I'll work on?
Sir, I have to work upon the current affairs part and the static version, like the Upanishad. I forgot the name of the Upanishad, and I will work upon
And
it.
about the communication thing, you believe this is how you wanted to present yourself, or there are areas where you would like to calibrate your communication?
Sir, I think I will leave that to your wisdom to assess me, because I cannot assess myself on
Right.
that point.
See, Satyam, I'm very sure that you have already realized that you're a very, very good candidate. You're one of those candidates one get once or twice only in the entire batch. So you're that kind of a candidate, and that is a good thing. That partially is also a bad thing. Good thing in the sense that it is good thing because you are from a different league. You're not from off-the-mill candidates, which we have interviewed around 550 already. You definitely fall apart from that league. But then it also means that you will not be judged on the same parameters on which the other candidates will be judged, right? So when it comes to the technical things, apart from a few things, you're already doing everything right. Your entry is good, your sitting posture is good. In general, your voice level is good, your hand movement in general is restricted, your eye contact is good. There are a few things we'll be coming to that. But in general, your textbook things are in place, your checklist things are in place. And our assessment is that you will actually not be judged on these things, because these things you are doing right. So within next 2, 3, 4 minutes, board members will realize, okay, this is a candidate which is not to be judged on the conventional parameters, right? So what will happen? They will raise their level, right? Both the difficulty level as well as the expectation level. Expectation level will also go high because of you being very young. The young candidates usually have a different handling by the board. One, they get a long rope. They kind of, you're allowed to commit a few mistakes here and there, considering that, okay, you're too young, you'll be able to get it. But at the same time, expectation level there obviously goes high, because again, it becomes a person who can one day become cabinet secretary. So there cannot be any relaxation be given, because that is a too high a position to be offered on platter,
Yes.
right? So that is one thing where the board members will definitely raise their difficulty level as well as the expectation level. Now it is incumbent upon you to meet those expectations, right? Most of the times you're able to do it. But there are few suggestions which, if you look at carefully, you'll realize where it is. One is that there is going to be a bonhomie, there is going to be a welcoming attitude of the board, considering that you're coming as a young candidate, right? So the board members initially or in the middle of the interview would like you to to meet those expectations. Right now what is happening is you're letting this good welcoming thing fizzle out within few minutes, 5-10 minutes, and you're not capitalizing on your being very young, right? So let this affection that is likely to come from the board members sustain for 30 minutes, right? So how can you do that? Keep appearing that young all through 30 minutes. What you do is that you become a fierce fighter very soon, right?
Okay, sir. I will keep.
You're getting my point?
Yes,
so
sir.
be a little polite.
Okay.
Show that extra smile wherever required, so that you continue that you're being youngest in the entire lot of 2000 candidate. Sustain for 30 minutes, because that is something going in your favor. Why let it fizzle out, right? It is
Yes,
like
sir.
if somebody is very good speaker, he would capitalize on being good speaker. You are
Yes.
very young candidate. Capitalize on your being young candidate rather than fighting with the board members right in the beginning unnecessarily. You're losing something which you are in your favor. One
Okay.
thing. Second, this politeness thing has to come also sometime in the expression thing. Though you will be wearing a mask, so the face will not be visible, most of it, but eyes will be. And you have a very huge eyebrow movement. You react to every question with the eyebrows. Why I am giving such nitpicking thing? Because you are not doing anything wrong on the major front. You're getting what?
Yes.
You are not doing anything wrong on big issues. So what will happen? The small issues become better.
Yes.
So you have to work on the small things. One small thing is that there is a huge eyebrow movement.
Okay.
Eyebrow movement, you understand in our culture, eyebrow movement is considered as if being high brow, low brow, right? So if there is huge eyebrow movement, it becomes a touch of arrogance.
Okay.
Right? So be polite, work on eyebrow movement thing, whether you are able to listen without moving your eyebrows and react without not reacting that, right? Then there are few small things. I mean, at a few places it appears, for example, when you were discussing the Hollywood thing, we would make a film like Hollywood. That kind of a thing becomes a little, I won't call it a loose talk, but it was less formal, right? So make it more formal, because otherwise you're already doing very, very formal communication, which is a nice thing. A smile here and there will help,
Okay, sir.
right?
Yes.
Where if the board member is, please understand not just the meaning and intention, but also the intonation of the board member. इंटोनेशन इज कि वो सटायर में बोल रहे हैं, वो लड़ियाते हुए बोल रहे हैं, या वो आपसे वाकई लड़ रहे हैं. सही है?
Yes.
If you are able to get that, then you'll respond accordingly, rather than taking it the literal meaning of it. Right?
Okay, sir.
That is also one thing you can work on. You're a photographer, you can understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
It is not just the words. Sometimes we actually express with many other
Yes.
layers, right? So you can work on that. There are few places where probably giving name with a salutation would have been good. For example, if you're mentioning, say, Rakesh Sharma or Kalpana Chawla or whatever, maybe a salutation here and there will help. Other things, you're already doing very well. My only, and I'm giving you a concluding sentence, my only concern is that if you do not get into confrontation with any board member, you're going to rock. You're going to be one of the toppers. You're getting my point? But
Yes.
there's a big if. If is that you should not hurt the board member's ego.
Okay.
Right? Work on that. Everything is okay. Even if you say sorry for 4 or 5 times in this interview, even then interview is one of the best. You have not said sorry this much time. You know most of the things. But even if had there been a knowledge deficit thing, that wouldn't have hurt, right?
Yes.
So you're already a very, very good candidate. All the best.
Sir, I have one question,
Yes.
if permit. Sir, my eyes might be looking little sleepy and drowsy, and in most of the mocks they have told me, should I wear one glasses because my eyesight is not weak. But
See, earlier we have advised a few candidates to wear the plain glasses, but then it has to be your call. Go to the optician shop, take a plain 0 number glass, उसके बाद देखिए कि आप कैसे लगते हैं. ठीक है? It's going to be ultimately your call. हम लोगों को कोई खास फर्क नहीं दिखाई दे रहा था. Yes, there is a redness in
Yes,
your
sir.
eyes, but it is a part of your personality. Yeah, unless you are into narcotics, right? तो उसकी चिंता किए बिना just have fun. अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि चश्मा लगा के अच्छे लगते हो तो पहन लो, क्या दिक्कत है? 0 नंबर के ग्लासेस में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. ठीक
Okay,
है? ये कलर ब्लाइंडनेस वाला थोड़ा पढ़ लेना. ठीक
yes,
है?
sir.
All the
And,
best.
one more question, if you
Yes.
permit. Sir, how should I have tackled the question that you asked about the age and the maturity?
See, normally we have asked this question to other toppers also in the past. For example, we asked it to Akshat and even to, if I remember correctly, to that girl jo last time thi. Yeah, so this thing. But usually the thing is that you should be in position to be human, right? Avatar bhumika mein nahi aana hai. So what you can say, I believe these things are there. With time, maybe I'll be more compassionate, right?
Okay,
Things like that.
Yes,
You're not
sir,
saying
I
that you
understand.
don't have these things. You're merely saying that with time, with energy, with more age, I'm sure I'll be more, even more compassionate. I'll be more looking forward to become more rational sometime. And not that you are not right now. Okay? And obviously the training will change me. The last part was good. The training will also change me, right? So you can mention these things. Don't run away from it saying कि नहीं कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. कोई महामानव थोड़े ना हो. ठीक है ना? All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.